I wasn't really thrilled by it. I mean, it's not an awful announcement. I'm just not really thrilled by it just because I feel like it's not necessary. I mean, I'm sure it will be good. It's just like I wouldn't watch. I watched Total Divas some, and it just got to be too. It was obviously very manufactured, and I was just like, "This is." I don't feel like investing my time or energy into this, and so I think I probably will check it out. And then I feel like, and I know this was probably a network decision, not a Tony decision, but this could have been. It brought up when it was announced. It made me think of last summer. They trademarked All Elite Women. And that started some discourse on what that means. Was it going to be an hour? Was it going to be like an hour-long women's wrestling show? Was it going to be a Total Divas like show? What did All Elite Women mean? And then it disappeared. Like we never heard about it again.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was talking to a friend who said that he heard that it was something they floated to the network and the network was not interested, which is certainly possible. I don't know what exactly it was and who knows how true that is. It seems likely, it seems like Warner Brothers wants some more AEW content, but not wrestling content because, they wouldn't put Ring of Honor on TV, which this could have easily been Ring of Honor being on TV here. But I personally, if I was making the decisions at Warner Brother, I would have made this All Elite Women. I would have had an hour of women's wrestling to give them time, to give them TV time to practice, but to be like, because there's a lot of wrestlers who don't wrestle on camera or not in a TV studio situation. It can give them room to develop characters. It can give them room to grow storylines, and it may be this current situation, which is the originals versus the outsiders or whatever. This storyline has kind of fallen flat. So in a place like All Elite Women, where it's an hour dedicated to the women, you can not fluff it up, but like you can get some more insight into why they're doing what they're doing, or why they're like, and there's some women we've talked about, like why where is Nyla Rose? Like, why is she's an original?
Yeah, where is Nyla Rose?
On Dark, they relegated her to YouTube. She's on
Elevation. I haven't watched much YouTube these days.
She's pretty much on Dark and Elevation. She's either with Marina or she's with Emmy, which I love Nyla and Emmy together. And Emmy, I've talked about this a lot over the last week and a half. I've got to write about Emmy. I think I feel like she's the unsung hero of the women's division. Like, we saw that amazing match she had on Rampage a few weeks ago, and that's more than even what she does. She does in the time that she's given on YouTube, she does really well, but she's showcased a side of herself that a lot of AEW fans have not seen before. And I saw it when I went to DPW a few months ago and she was there. And I was like, where the hell has this Emmy been? Like, why haven't we been able to see her on TV? And it's because if they do that, then people are going to ask for Emmy on TV every week. She
was on the Mutter show, as a matter of fact. Even.
Was she? Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Emmy, which makes sense. That makes perfect sense that Emmy was there. But
we'll talk about that later. But
yeah. But Emmy is just, I love her. And then stuff. But yeah, so it goes back, where is Nyla? Riho was obviously we're getting Riho next week, but where is Riho? She was your first champion, and she's not if she's not in this storyline of the originals. Nikki said Emmy always messes with her ref and it's not favorite. Yeah, she will. Yeah. Her new favorite thing. Well, sometimes she makes them wear her crown or her cape. She likes to kick his knee out from under him and make him fall to his knee so she can sit on it. And then she messes. It's great. So Emmy should be on TV is my point.
Agree.
But yeah, so I feel like they could be doing a lot more with the women. I think, we've talked about that for as long as the show has existed, the things that they could be doing to improve the women's division. And it just feels like, I don't know. I don't think, because there is, a lot of people have the sentiment that AEW does not care about women's wrestling. I don't quite think that, but sometimes they give reasons for people to think that, they back them up. I'm like, you're making their argument for them. And again, I know that this was probably a network decision, not a Tony decision. I'm pretty sure that Warner Brothers
was. I mean, they had actually ordered these episodes
because it was technically, remember, a few weeks ago,
it was going to be the Roads to the Top. It was the second season of Roads to the Top.
Well, yes, so that didn't happen.
And they even hung on to that after, because that didn't go away immediately after Cody even debuted. That was after the fact that ultimately became a, hey, we're not doing this with them. Obviously, they're on another network, but they still wanted the show.
Right.
And so,
and there was a thing,
I guess, and there was actually like other shit in the newsletter this week. And Dave wrote about like this whole situation is that they sort of like, this was what they wanted. This is what AEW had to deliver. Right. If you've seen some of the talent tweeting about it, they were like, some of them seemed like, we're a little weirded out, and we like signed off on it, and we knew that we were going to, be in the show. So my hope, as someone who did watch Rose to the Top,
I watched a couple episodes, and then I was like, they were very mean to Brandy. Like, his family was terrible to her. And I was like,
the whole Rhodes part.
I watched like maybe 3 episodes, and I was like,
terrible.
This is not for me. They're just mean as shit to her for no fucking reason.
But if you like, and then we figured out what we would do is DVR it and fast forward through that crap and watch all the backstage stuff.
Yeah.
So if they do, and the backstage stuff was hilarious. Like, there was this one great moment right after Cody and Brandy had the baby, where MJF like walks by him. He's like, "Oh, you had a baby? Oh, fuck you." And he just like walks off. It was the greatest thing ever. It was like the perfect, it was an MJF pure, like earlier seasons MJF moment. It was so great. Like, that stuff was awesome. Anything that was like involved with Moxley trying to like get this crap together backstage, like, so if they're gonna focus on that stuff, I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably gonna.
So I'm not completely against it. I just think they could have used.
No, I totally agree with you on that.
I understand it's a network thing, and we talked, and Nikki and I talked about it. I think like right after the announcement was made. There was a few weeks ago. There was something about how they were recording a documentary that was including, like, the Young Bucks were included in it and stuff like that. And then obviously it was just a cover for the TV show. They were saying it was like because it was something about how cameras were going to be there for 6 weeks or something like that. And then it turns out it was this, because the Young Bucks are a part of it. I'm really looking forward to, the main thing is I'm looking forward to Eddie Kingston, because A, I love Eddie Kingston, but then B,
Unfiltered.
He tweeted and said, I don't know how this is going to be edited. I haven't seen the show. I don't know what it's going to look like. And then he follows up with a quote tweet. I cussed a lot. Like, I mean, a lot.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I thought that he basically thought that if he cussed enough, they would be like, we're not going to use him. And they loved it. He played himself. And so... And I was like,
Eddie Kingston, when are you going to learn that we love you the way that you are? And
Eddie's amazing. I love him. So
we need you to do what you do.
One of my concerns that I have, and of course we haven't seen it yet, and so my concerns may be completely unfounded, is they do have 2 couples in this. They have Sammy and Ty, and Adam and Britt. My concern is that they're going to turn this into a, like, where they don't focus on the women as women and as wrestlers, but as the women in the couple. And that is I'm afraid that they're going to do that, just because reality shows like to do that. They don't like to see, it's when a woman is in a relationship, they like to present them as the couple. So that is a concern of mine. I could be completely wrong. Maybe they won't do that at all. But I'm betting that's what that happens.
I mean, that's a completely valid and probably likely, unfortunately, because that's ad revenue, and that's what brings in the cash.
Yeah. And they do, and I will say, Britt and Adam, they have obviously this relationship, and Adam is going through he's been going through these things where he was having these concussions, and he's talked about like how he cried for no reason, or he couldn't be in the car for more than 15 minutes without throwing up. So that is that's going to have an effect on their relationship, because she can't help him and he can't figure out what's going on. So I'm sure there's going to be that aspect, and it should be there. It also kind of makes me wonder, now that I'm thinking about it, if this is going to kind of help with her babyface turn, because we're going to see the real side of Britt and things like that. So maybe this is where the babyface turn comes. I don't think she should be a babyface. I think she's better suited. I mean, maybe she's wrong, but it's kind of like the Johnny Gargano thing. Like, Johnny Gargano is a natural babyface, and when he was a heel, he did the best he could with what he was given. But Johnny Gargano is a babyface. he's just the perfect baby face. And so I kind of feel like Britt, she's really good at being a mean girl. She's very good at being, and that's not to say that she, obviously that she's not a nice person or anything like that. So, I mean, maybe she'll prove me wrong. Maybe she'll be a great baby face. But it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.